Greetings, fellow Vikings. Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 63 of The Blades of Ragnarok, which originally aired live on Twitch. Let's get going. Alright, just tried to call Tusk. We'll see if she comes. Yes, warhounds are part of the... or wolfhounds, rather. Hi, Tusk. The floating Tusk. Okay, I've been sufficiently slobbered. Hello. Hello. Yep, little... yeah, I'll let you see more pet. You like the floaty puppy? You like that? She likes it too. She is magic. She really is. She's such a joyful little creature. I honestly, it's pretty. I mean, Yoda's pretty joyful. Don't get me wrong, but Tusk, oh man, she is just a happy little. She's like a brown cloud of love. Did Tusk's kin find a home? I don't know actually. I hadn't followed up. I was asked to see if I might know someone, but I didn't really know anyone. Not the outro music. I think we need it, and we need a better full-time cleaner. Idis, are you cleaning, or are you just pretending to clean? So, we're still woozy with Wolu. But like I said, tomorrow morning we're going to go on that Thrumbo hunt. Brawlers probably need not go on the Thrumbo hunt, but we'll take a look at who will get sent. Is it worth taking Thrumbo clothes for Wolu? So Wolu right now has a legendary red shirt. You remember that stupid red shirt I made? Well, the stupid red shirt, because it's legendary, has 50 sharp, which is actually incredibly good. So I don't think I have a Thrumbo shirt that matches that. You're not wrong. Thrumbo clothing would be superior, but I highly doubt I'll be able to make Thrumbo shirt that matches a legendary. And then the thing is, he's got, Tubonic legs, so there's literally no wounds that can make him bleed. And yeah, it's raffle time, you're right. There's no wounds to the legs that can make him bleed. Bilbuck, you needs a name. My wolfhound. Not this wolfhound. Oh, she's so cute. Look at that. She's the best. Congrats, Bilbuck. If you want to change your name, just let me know. Just tag me. But otherwise, you'll be known as Bilbuck. First time winning a giveaway. Clearly, it is rigged then. Oh, well. Thanks, Freya. You're the best. Stupid Freya. What the heck is going on? So, this caravan's leaving, right? Well, these guys then just came in to raid my pantry and then leave. What the heck? Tuskam when? The problem with Tuskam is she doesn't stay. She doesn't just hang out with me. So, as much as I'd like a Tuskam, there's no way that, like, most of the time you'd buy the channel points and there'd just be no Tusk there. Because she wanders about the house a bit. I think it's a good idea. It's just, I'm not gonna, like, leash her to be here. Well, it is the end of summer and it's negative 16 Celsius, so... Hey, if there's really a demand, you know, I could do some streams where I just take my dogs hiking or something and have them romp around outside. You know, if there's honest demand for it, I would be happy to take you all for a hike with my pups. I don't know what kind of technology or setup I would be required to have, but I would not say no. I have no idea why that was a terrible accent. But then you'd also have to listen to me like yell at them for, you know, being dogs, right? Dogs are going to be dogs, and they don't always behave. Sometimes they like walking around a bit and not listening to daddy. I'm trying to move the television so that more chairs are lined up to it. And let's just nest our beer awkwardly into the wall. All right, so it is the morning. Once everybody's up and has had sufficient, what's it called? You know, breakfast or whatever meal you have. Durable carpet. My posture right now is terrific. My, what are they called? Wow, I'm really drawing a blank. My, whatever. My brain just has dismissed itself. Yes, I'm not quite as bad as that bird on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Damn it, D. Her Caitlin Olsen's accent is it's bad. All right, so we're gonna send out a bit of a hunt for the Thrumbo. I'm not gonna send Arna because the frost weapons, the crypto weapons, are kind of weird to use on these hunts. And then I think what I'm gonna need is I'll need at least a horse, and I'm out of weight. Okay, let's send 2 horses. Launch 6. So shooter. Knot is gonna go, which means I'm not gonna have a lot of stuff crafted while I'm out. As a Brit, I can tell mine is bad. Well, I've never, you know, you can hate on me for my terrible accent, but I know it's terrible. That's the joke, you know. I'm fully aware of how bad it is, so that is part of the fun. If it was a good British accent, if it was convincing, I actually probably wouldn't use it. How many people am I sending? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, too many. 6. All right, let's take the masterwork. Actually, let's take the better quality stuff. 2, 6. Okay. No, that's not 6. 4, 5, 6. Okay. There. Done. Good. That didn't need to be confusing, but it was. What else do I need on this trip? I'm probably not going to have a warden back home, so that's something to think about. But medicine, wake up, go juice. No one that's being sent has a Lucy addiction. Can we just add Wolu? We could, but I'm not going to. All right, send. With all of your hate on my accent, it almost makes me want to like do an entire YouTube series with like a bad accent, just to turn the screws to everybody's brain. All right, so the Thrumbo hunt here. We're gonna drop an edge. Please actually edge drop me this time, not fake edge drop me, which is sometimes you do. So who's back home? We are missing a warden, but Wolu is gonna cover while they're out. So we're not missing a warden, but we are missing a cook. Okay. Well, if I'm missing a cook, guess what? It's vomit time for everybody. I'm gonna have Freya do it. Much regret gonna be happening here. Oh, it's a single Thrumbo? What the hell did I even bother coming here for? This is just stupidly insulting. Your power level is so far beneath mine. Okay. Well, we're done. How is that worth my time? I guess I got a legendary weapon, but even this legendary weapon does significantly less DPS than my Persona blades. Just keep shooting, just keep shooting. Just keep shooting, just keep shooting. Oh, it was also an Alzheimer's-ridden Thrumbo. It was a Thrumbo that was almost 200 years old, riddled with Alzheimer's. Good job, guys. You really are the A-team here. I mean, I guess I couldn't have known how many Thrumbo were going to be here before I got here, but that just feels stupid. What a waste of a trip. The last Thrumbo I went on had like 10 Thrumbo or something. Philippus is now recruitable. All right, so which one of you plant cut? Because could you please, would you kindly? It would be Naz or Thora who are daydreaming. So I want to butcher the Thrumbo because if I came all this way, I might as well get the meat and the leather and the horn primarily. And now that Thora has a thumb with her bionic arm, this is a bit easier to do. Edith built it, and we butcher with Scarred. Or Naz. I don't really care which. Okay, quest is done. Reform caravan, heading on home. The worst hunt ever. Really? Only 120 Thrumbo? I guess, yeah, okay. Reform. I'm so used to killing like giant swarms of Thrumbo that only 120 seems like an incorrect number. Travel supplies, bring it all. The meat's probably gonna rot in transit, but whatever. Can't help that. I could AD on the way back, but with so many people, the more people that you add, you can have like mental breaks and stuff like that that can really have some terrible negative consequences. So for that reason, I'm not going to. But I do have an intelligence. Did I? Yeah, I do. Okay. Itis, you're gonna get smatta. You ready to get smat? 4 to 12. Yeah, that was a big hike. Yagyu, thanks for the follow, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here. You go grab a drink and it's already over. Yeah, it was just a single Thrumbo. But the good news is I got it off my slate of quests, so it does free me up to be offered other quests, which is the net positive. I know this simple meal queue has 1,000 there. Now it has 27. We were doing 1,000 because we were using it as travel food, but obviously I don't need 1,000 of anything. Possible poll. To see if we add Psycaster from current pawns? Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Do we use the Neuro Trainer right now? Yes or no? Another thing that we could do. So if I saved it and got Resmec Serum, I could give it to Sven and bring him up to level 5, I think, which would make him a very powerful Psycaster. But currently, we really haven't been making any inroads in getting Resmec Serum. So here's the thing. There are, in fact, some royal cities out here. And when you raid royals, you have a higher chance of getting neuro trainers and persona weapons and things like that. So what we could do, if you do choose that I use the neuro trainer right now, I'll use it. And then I'll have you all vote on raid targets. And what I'll just do is I'll have it be Empire, Outlanders, or tribes, and then go from there. And if you have me vote on going after the Shattered Empire, I'll raid Shattered Empire. It's going to be a tough fight. And I'll probably want to recruit Philippus and Dog first, especially Dog, because Dog's going to be another healer. Because I imagine if I go after the Empire, to one of their settlements, it's going to be well guarded. But I would do it if it meant possibly adding some people to our group. All right, I'll leave that up, but it's pretty clear it's going to say yes. So there's other questions that this brings up. Question number 1, do we pray at the tree? I haven't been doing it so far because praying at the anima tree is a very, very, very quick and powerful way to become an insanely, you know, if you all watch the Wendigos, you know what it's like when you have everybody be like a high tier psycaster. So I'll have you all vote. I want you to vote on whether we pray at the tree or not. Just knowing that if I do pray at the tree, it will make the game considerably easier. Much the way that I sort of had you vote on whether I use formal kill boxes. Clearly, defending yourself in RimWorld, a proper kill box with a bunch of turrets is the way to go. I'm not going to argue against that. Obviously, that is the best way to defend yourself, but it also is the easy way to defend yourself, and I don't necessarily want to take the easy way. This is a Twitch series. It's about entertainment. It's about adding challenge for myself. So, if I do pray at this tree, it will make the game easier. There is no doubt about that. The game will become significantly easier, but if that's what you want, that's fine. And then the other question is, if I do use the neurotrainer, on who? I don't know who. There is not a clear pick. I mean, I do have a tomb, which allows me to pray in it. So it would be someone with a morbid psi focus would be ideal. I do also have a legendary art, and you can have an art psi focus for anyone. I don't have a lot of pieces of art to make it a significantly good psi focus. But yeah, we'll have you all vote. So you do want me to use the neurotrainer now. The next question I have is, do I pray at the anima tree? So I've stated the case for and against. The for is a lot of the psi focuses will be open to me, and I'll be able to do a lot more psi casting. The against is it does make the game significantly easier when I can just move things with my mind. When I become a river tam, everything becomes a little bit easier. So if you vote for me to go pray at the anima tree, if you vote no, I'll probably have you guys have the option of voting if I make it a priority to go after Empire settlements for their psychic abilities. And if you vote yes, I'm going to have you all decide on, is there restrictions to the anima tree, like morbid fascination only, or only up to X amount % of the population, something like that. Some restraining factors so that not everyone can become, you know, Viking gods. Maybe you want me to be Viking gods. That's all right too. I can also add in no restriction. But I'll put the options. And if you have any options that you think are fitting, some sort of reasonable restrictions if we do pray at the anima tree, feel free to share your opinions. Share what you think is a good restriction, like, you know, only 10% of your colony, or only morbid, or no restrictions, or whatever it might be. And we're plagued. NyQuil, Wild Turkey, and Freya. All right, Freya, I'm going to have you grab the hospital bed immediately. And then I'm going to use actual real meds for everybody but Wild Turkey and NyQuil. They're going to get herbal meds. I'm sort of glad that I'm not glad that I got the plague, but I'm sort of glad that the two guests that are relatively useless were the targets for 2 of the 3. That works for me. Plague on. I could channel point submission and coordinate that, yes. Sure. Hold on. Let me, clearly the yays have it at about a 2-to-1 ratio. So there we go. there is a channel point redemption now for submit a restriction for the anima tree. Yes, it means you have to use channel points, but if you want to submit your ideas, we can have at it. So I'll crowdsource that. All right, I'm sort of interpreting some of these a bit, but hey, Chelsea, thanks for gifting out a sub. So right now, just so that we don't have duplicates, here's what I got so far. A maximum of 2 casters, and only those casters can pray at the tree. And only 1 Psycaster, and it has to be Psy-focus based. Porlino does only Luciferium addicted. Because there's some sort of like overlap. There's some that aren't clearly defined restrictions or overlap. And then here's another one. Only 1 person in the colony, and they can have any Psy-focus. And then only 1 person on the tree, but other people can be use neuroformers. Yeah, there's so many different variants here. So let me put up these 5 here. I think they cover the gambit pretty well. So I'm going to turn this off. Oh, yes. And then, of course, no restrictions. All right. So we have 6 options. I can specify them. So maximum 2 casters that use the tree, and only they can pray at the tree. That's option number 1. Number 2 is only 1 person can pray at the tree, morbid only. Number 3 is only as many Lucy addict casters as I have. Number 4 is only 1 person, and they don't have to be morbid, which is different from number 2, which is that they have to be morbid. And then number 5 is only 1 tree user. Other Psycasters are okay. I'm just going to assume that all the other options are other Psycasters are okay. This is basically, am I restricting the anima tree? If I find neuroformers, I can add other Psycasters. That I think that's a spoils of war, but I don't know. Maybe I have to have you vote on that. I don't feel like it needs to. Or 6, which is no restrictions. Basically, everybody can pray at the tree and become psychic gods. I'm okay with that too, if that's what you want. Quiet. What? Oh! All right, yeah, hell yeah. Bring it on. All right, so 2 Yorkies join me, and I look after them, and I get a psychic neuroformer for looking after them. So, yep, I will be doing that. So speaking of psychics, even Freya, the storyteller, Freya Fierce, wants me to have more Psycasters. On the other hand, where's my puppy? I don't know why my see, this is why I wouldn't have a tusk cam, because there is no tusk. As far as you know, I'm pointing at nothing. I love it, right? Here, look at the great void that is not my dogs. So how far out? We're 1 day away? No problem. Wilson and Copper. You are a 3 and 1 year old. Oh, don't you dare have Yorkie puppies on my watch, though. I don't want a whole bunch of puppies that I own as a result of this. What happened to Glitch the Horse? Glitch the Horse died in a base defense raid. We had 3 people home, if I recall, and we had a sapper raid of like 20, and I barely survived, and most of my pets were victim to that raid, unfortunately. I don't really need 2 light bulbs here. Oh, you know what? Because I had a light bulb here and it broke. That was a pretty crazy raid. I do like when the odds are ever against me. But not to a point where it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. Not to like a Black Lake degree. Because Black Lake got ridiculous. All right, so you're saying no restrictions. All right, well, I don't feel like that's how I wanted this to go, but I will respect your decisions. I didn't want to become a psychic god, but if you're all saying, all right, I'm going to ask one simple question here. All right, so it's sort of a yes or no. Do you want me to have a colony of psychic gods basically absolutely abusing the animatry and min-maxing it to the nth degree, or should I have some reasonable restrictions here? Because in the previous poll, there was 5 options for restrictions and 1 option for no restrictions, and the 1 option for no restrictions did not get a majority, it just got a plurality. So then we'll have to drill down what is our restrictions going to be. And Wolu just got an inspired trade. And an exotics trader just showed up. Okay, Freya Fierce, what is going on? Why are you being nice, and what are you going to do to me? And have you been abducted by Phoebe? I hope some of you got that. Hey, buddy, you're on. When do you ever get an inspired trade the very moment an exotic goods trader shows up? That is kind of ridiculous. This exotic goods trader has 33 Luciferium. Holy hell. That's a lot of Lucy. That's a lot of Naturamine. They have 479 Naturamine for sale. What else do you got for me? An Architect Eye? Heck yeah. That's how I'm going to spend my money. A Shock Lance and Incendiary Lance? Uh-huh. You speak my language. Yes, sir, you do. Another 2 more medical trainers? And 2 more mining trainers? Why not go bankrupt? I am okay with this. Vertical Pulse? Sure. What else you got for me? I don't really care for Flash Storm. So you need a little bit of money for me, do you? God, I am buying everything. How about I just buy fewer? There we go. Almost every last cent. Done. Absolutely no regrets there. Woo-hoo. All right, so what do we got? We got 2 mining trainers and 2 construction trainers, or 2 more medical trainers. Oh God, I have so many medical trainers. This is delicious. So 2 mining trainers. None of the people that are home right now have mining passions. And we have a Mad Lynx. Hey, Wolu, do you want to show me how fast you are? Actually, why isn't he faster? Let's see. You're moving at, all right, 7.87. Oh, it's because it's dark out. That's why. It's just daybreak. Good job, you win. Give some medical to Sin so I can have a 3rd competent doc. Oh my God, what are you doing to this poor Lynx? All right, let's analyze. You bruise the head, cut out an eye, cut off the jaw, cut off the tail, cut out a kidney, cut off a leg, and bruised another leg. Can you... How much of this lynx is missing 40% of its body before it died? Yeah, that is that's a little absurd. Just a little absurd. It didn't, I mean, I didn't let it bleed out or anything. I was a good little hunter and finished it off fast, but that was kind of ridiculous. All right, one more minute for the reasonable restrictions. I think the reasonable restrictions are going to win, I'd imagine. It does look like that is the leading case. I think for all the medical trainers, I'm going to want to abduct another doctor. But I could... Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good restriction there, Zila. Vabarn, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the stream. So, if we're going to have restrictions, what I'm going to do is... I'm going to open up the channel point redemption again. And it will be submit a single restriction for the animatry. Just a single one, where you come up with one little rule, like after I use the tree to level up one tier, like be very, very, very specific, and I'll collect the 10 of the channel point restrictions, and then we'll just have you all vote on them. But specificity is key here in this. So I'll create one. One will be that, you know, a good one would be like only Luciferium addicts can be Psycasters, or only people with totally natural bodies and no bionics can be Psycasters. Like that would be a very reasonable restriction, which if it was like only natural bodies, it's like, all right, well, I guess only Idis could be a Psycaster, and then maybe Philippus or Dog. Right, it would give me a very, very reasonable way to tamp down on being godcasters, because this game will allow you to become a godcaster if you want. You know, it doesn't really restrict you. That would be a single complaint of the royalty DLC is the enemy royals and the enemies that have Psycast powers don't use them all that effectively, and then you can have everybody in your colony become a super advanced Psycasters to the point where like you can just dunk on everybody. Or only an elected leader can become Psycaster. That would be sort of like a single Psycaster, or a matriarch and patriarch, one male, one female, can become Psycasters. Right, there's a bunch of different pretty reasonable rules here. And now you guys can submit those ideas. Or better yet, the first thing is, what sort of restrictions should we consider? Background, trait restrictions, numerical restrictions. So background and trait restrictions would be like only morbid or only pyro or only, you know, that kind of thing. Numerical restrictions would just be restricting the amount of number. Body addiction restrictions. I'm trying to think of some other basic ones. Because we probably want to... Yeah, maybe age restrictions. Well, that would be background or trait, too. Your background is part of your age. Trying to think of other sort of, like, broader categories so that we can... Yeah. So that we can figure out... Yeah, melee or ranged would probably also be background and trait. Because your background is your skills for melee and ranged. other restrictions. So here, what will we consider? I think the top 2 choices will go ahead, and then I'll open it up to everybody. Man, I have 6 silver left after that trade. I still feel very, very good about that trade. What did I even buy? I don't even remember. But here's the caravan coming home with everything else. Itis. Yeah, you don't actually have to be zone restricted because you're a psychopath. That's right. So background and trait restrictions would be things like only psychopaths, or only people who are kind, or only people with psychic sensitivity, which makes kind of sense. I don't even think I have any psychic sensitivity people, so I'd have to go abduct some. But those kind of restrictions would be, you know, background and trait, you know, only pyromaniacs, only whatever. Numerical restrictions are just keep it to a certain number, or something like that. Ooh, a berserk. The problem with these berserks... Okay, Naz, you're the man to do this. Is the... Yeah, they're gonna break out. Naz, where are you? Oh, you're gonna beat up the other prisoner? I mean, that's kind of funny. Thank you, Naz. So Naz is in armor and is a good brawler despite the rifle. So that's why I picked him. Now the other problem is that as a result of this little brawl, oh, there we go, down. Oop, we just dumped all sorts of wrong things in there. I was gonna say the other problem is the now that the prison doesn't have doors. Well, I guess it does. It still has the granite door. I like how this kibble is now reserved for prisoners. Come on, Wolu, where are you? Wait, what is going on? Do I not have any wood closer to my base than all the way down here? Ah, I am out of wood. Oh, okay. Well, that is a bit of a problem. So if I'm out of wood, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to allow sowing of Devil Strand, and we're going to use a cornucopia in a minute. All right, so Wolu, just haul all that wood back. I didn't realize I was so out. Dog, all right, you're just wounded, but you're not dying. All right, numerical background and trait seems to be the winning choice here. And I'm gonna quickly... No, don't eat that. Stupid. I'm with stupid. Alright, so I put her in the other prison, which is honestly going to be too cold for her, so let's put in a heater. And then this prison is going to be broken down, because it can be bigger and nicer. And that way I can also reclaim some of the wood, because I'm basically out of wood. So there we go. New recruit Philippus. All right, Philippus. You're now going to be Viking. You're quick sleeping, bloodlust, and kind. You've got the chops for melee. If you're kind, let's give you the kind thoughts, calm thoughts weapon. Swing. All right, let's give you... Wait, you're bloodlust, right? Yeah, let's... You don't need to be zone restricted. You are now a brawler. And put you on mood drugs. Freya, you're no longer a cook. Everyone's home. give you some priorities here. I guess you're going to be farming for us. Let's suspend the simple meals. And 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I'm going to be assigning Viking here an owner. Awesome. Look at that. We already have the Eric's Calm Thoughts. Eric's is the name of the sword. Because, you know, name your blade. All right, background and trait restrictions and numerical restrictions are going to be accepted. The channel point redemption for the submitted restriction for the animatry is now open, and submit either channel point or submit either numerical or background ones only. Oh boy. So only morbid, only bloodlust, only 1 liter. Only psychically dull. Can pray. Are cyclically dull casters. That's fine. Does the new Viking have a bed? She does not yet have a bed. No. I'm staring at my beds. I feel like I uninstalled beds, but there's just a bunch of bedrolls in here. In fact, all these thin thread bedrolls are going to get shredded. Yeah, mayhaps I need a bed. So furniture. Fur bed. Light leather. Edith, you make this. Another thing that I probably should do once I get some more trees is to make better beds, because my beds suck. My bed quality is pretty awful. All right, so the Viking assignee will be in 5 minutes. Only bionic sighted. Okay. Let's see. And Wrecker, thanks for the follow. I'm going to turn this off and just make sure that I have all of the redemptions now. Those are pretty good restrictions. So let me look at the queue. So, just to recap, maximum 2, psychically dull only morbid casters, only bloodlust casters, only 1 liter, which I received twice, so I'm going to refund the second one. Only Jarl and bodyguards. So Satyr, that's not specific enough, because bodyguards is plural, so it's not really a restriction for numbers. And then only Bionic and Architect eyed. So only, let's call it like, you know, the vision people. So here's what we got. 6 restrictions submitted by you all that you're going to vote on. What happened to all the wood? I have no idea. I'm just going to assume that I made a lot of furniture and that's what happened to the wood, but I really don't know. Maybe we've been like rebuilding these training dummies over and over and over, but I don't think that's been the case either. Thanks, MVP, for the bits. You may have missed the hype train, but the thoughtfulness is always appreciated. So we're in the midst of an eclipse, and I'm going to turn off these grow lights down here because I don't actually care if this Devil Strand grows, because I'm going to be cornucopiaing it. Sorry, bear. Look at this hay. I have 7,000 hay. It's a little ridiculous. You can say I went for a little bit of hay fever. I'm surprised that there was no only single-eyed sidecasters, given that, well, in Viking lore, you got one-eyed seers. I would have added that as a restriction, but hey, I crowdsourced it. All right, dog is conscious again. This is a much nicer, it's a very impressive prison cell. This is a very impressive prison cell. They ought to be, actually, this prison cell isn't even necessary anymore. Because we don't have prisoners anymore. 2 more minutes on Viking, 2 more minutes. So if you want Viking, type now. Wow, the music plus the rainy thunderstorm? Mwah. Yeah, we do have a warden. We've got actually a phenomenal warden. Let me turn everybody else off of wardening. New recruit, dog. We're going to be doing a double header here. Both are going to be assigned in 1 minute. Now, given my proclivity to getting my doctors killed, I'm going to save some of the med trainers for the possibility of losing a doctor. Because it has been known to happen. But we've got dog now. And your name is going to be Viking as well. Good old generic name. Taking a look at it, it looks like my restrictions... We're going to do a recast, a revote, but... I'm going to add my own option in here. So here is what made it to the second round, plus me having creative influence and saying one-eyed as well. If you all want that, you can vote for it. If you don't, don't. All right, Viking, let's say 14 medical is good enough for you. That has us have 2 very capable doctors in our colony. And I do believe I have 2 more med trainers. Yeah, I have 2 more med trainers, so I can have a doctor on demand. I also have 2 mining trainers. So who's a miner up and coming? Thora would be. So Thora, let's have you use a mining trainer. Your mining's now 13. That's good. And 1 more miner. Nope, I don't have another miner, so I'll just keep the other trainer. Oh, the bashing. All right, so now the giveaway, guys. Here it is. 1 minute late, which is pretty good. Poor Lino. Right on, man. I'm a guess you're gonna want to immediately get hopped up on some sort of Luciferium here, so I'm gonna give you over to the non-doctor. And need I ask? You want to be hooked on drugs, right? Right? Also, you got to pick a name. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not even asking. All right, so where are you? You are here, Lucy and Mood. There's a history of poor Lino wanting to be on Luciferium. It is his thing. If there was someone that was supposed to be on Luciferium, it would be a poor Lino pawn. I'm probably going to have to find another persona weapon for you, but for now, you're going to use the Masterwork Danax. Yeah. Yep. All right, that'll work. Yeah, no asking necessary is your way of saying just do it. Here, I'm just going to force it. But yeah, let me know what I'll just name you Lino for now, but let me know what name you were going to want in the long run. And then the other Viking, the new doctor, the new up-and-comer, who is currently scooting around slowly because I beat the snot out of her. She is going to be named... She's after Dub. Dub, do you have something named after you here? I don't think so. Maybe... You were something, weren't you? But either way, congrats. You don't think so? Alright. And Dub... you were going to take the Danax the other day. Or actually, you're going to take a Zeus Hammer. Well, if you want, it's up to you. If you guys want to switch up your weapons a little bit, so here's what I got. I got the Heavy Crypto Axes, which are like a freezing bladed weapon. I've got the Zeus Hammers, and then I've got the Danaxes. So I have 3 different choices, and it's up to you. Taking a look at this poll, maximum 2 morbid-only tree casters, done. All right. So morbid-onlys. Morbid-only is a very broad range. So that would be Freya, because she's a psychopath. Idis, also psychopath. Lino, because bloodlust. Sin, because bloodlust. Scarred, because undergrounder. I don't know why undergrounder triggers morbid. It's very strange to me, but Scarred because he's undergrounder. And that's it. So Freya, Idis, Lino, Sin, Scarred. So who should be my Psy casters? I want to make sure that I don't miss anyone. And Lino, if you want to change your name, just at me here. Also, did I hydrate? I think... Is that... I want to make sure I got everyone. I think I did. I don't think I skipped over anyone. Okay, so here are... As far as I can tell, there's 5. Is there like a... Is there like a Psycast focus, a Psy-focus stat here? No. There's Psychic Sensitivity, and only Wild Turkey is non-psychic. I don't think there's, missing label. Ooh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I don't think there's a Psy-focus type here. I just have to click through them one at a time. Freya has a little bit of Psy-focus because of her sword. Her sword gives her a psychic sensitizer, so she's at 110%. But, yeah, here we go. Who should be the Psycasters? You get to vote. Because I haven't actually used the Neuroformer. Now, the other question I'm going to have to you all is, do I get 2 Tree Psycasters and a Neuroformer caster? Or is it 2 casters total? And I'll have you vote after that. Wasn't there a traits add-on? There is a traits add-on, but there's not like a Psycast focus add-on. So I could do traits, maybe, but I don't have that add-on installed. I don't think. Room size, really? There's a room. Who? I guess, sure. But yeah, let me go through them just and make sure. All right, so Freya's on the poll. Idis is on the poll. Wolu is ineligible. Lino is on the poll. Knut is ineligible. Edith is on the... Wait. No, Edith's not on the poll. She is minimal because she's an ascetic. Sin's on the poll. Scar's on the poll. They're eligible. Naz is ineligible. Arna's ineligible. Thor is ineligible. And Viking, who's... should get a name. Dub for now. If you've added me for me to change it, let me know. Please name you Ari. You got it. And Gaida for Lino. Ari for Dub. All right. I like it. And then if you want to change your weapons around, let me know. I think the weapons for now are... Oh god, all our brawlers have Persona Blades. Except for Ari. And, let's give you a masterwork. I don't know why. If you want to change up to a mace and a shield or something else, just let me know. All right, so Freya pretty clearly, and then maybe Sin. So Freya and Sin are the current winners of the Who Gets to Pray. I'm just making sure that all of my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed. And then we can get going again. So we got the Yorkies, we got the Friends in Need. The Friends in Need are almost done. Almost done. So just for the poll here, Lino is now Gaida. I know that's confusing because I just changed the name. But same person. You're also becoming idle, huh? Okay, so we are ready to, we're ready to, here, Wolo, you're standing next to it, to Cornucopia, which grows everything. Boom. So here's our Devil Strand, and I know my Storyteller well. I'm wasting no time harvesting this. Storyteller's gonna try to kill me. Let's also start chopping trees down, because we're low on trees, so we will absolutely maximize the amount of bang for my buck. I'm just aiming to get trees that are close to the base, but we'll replenish our wood. There we are. Okay. All right, I think it's pretty clearly Freya and Sin. So now the one last question is, do I get 3 or more than 2 casters if I use neuroformers? So just so that you know, you only go up to level 6 sidecasting, and once you have 2 casters at level 6, any future neuroformers that I would get, I would just not use. I would bank or whatever. There's also the added problem is, if I resurrect Sven, I'll have 3 sidecasters all of a sudden. So he could be a neuroformer only and not a tree caster. That gets really, really confusing. But the choice in the vote is yours, ultimately. So it looks like you're going to allow me to have more than 2 sidecasters if I have neuroformers. So we'll basically have 2 natural sidecasters that are morbid only, and then Sven and anyone else who is a neuroformer caster. That's how the poll looks. Sven here is dead, and there's no telling when I get to resurrect him. You know what sidecast would be amazing? If you had... Oh man, I want to add a sidecast to the game where you have... It would be a level 6 sidecast. You would need 3 casters to cast it at once using 100% of their side focus, or let's say 95%, and it would be a resurrection cast. It would be a group cast for resurrection. That would be amazing, because it would not be that easy to get, right? Because you would need the 3 side trainers for 3 casters. Maybe it even puts them in a coma, kind of like Neuroquake, but I would full thumbs up. That would be so cool. Make it very, very expensive and hard to obtain, but that would be really, really cool. Yeah, look, I mean, I want to get coding on that right now. Because in the Origins of Magic, you did have group casts. If you remember, if any of you watched Origins of Magic, you had them be able to do like cold snaps and heat waves and meteorite strikes as a group cast where you'd have 3 high-level mages cast 1 spell together. All of the sidecasters in this game are just single cast only. There's no concept of group casting, but group casting for like expensive stuff would be amazing. Is this my rant for the day? I guess it is. So I'm done ranting, but yeah, that would be amazing. Is some extraordinarily expensive, like have it be rare, high level, and put all of the casters into a coma. I would also put Neuroquake as a group cast too. A rant with an H, I love it. Neuroquake is so stupidly strong that, yeah, that should be probably, I would have that be group casted to at least 2. Just because it's like a immediately I win button against all incursions. Which is ridiculous. All right, let's make another recon helmet. And you say that I can have 3 casters with the neuroformers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my neuroformers on the, like, just the rare chance that I resurrect Sven. You've been watching episode 63 of The Blades of Ragnarok, which originally aired live on Twitch. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has all the information you need, including countdown timers to all of my streams, and my schedule for all the YouTube series. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.